You're crazy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Viall Files Freestyle Edition, a.k.a. Vanderpump Recap, a.k.a. whatever the hell we want to talk about. And we are very, very excited because the return of one of our favorite friends of show, the one, the only, Dave Holmes, who makes his premiere guest appearance on Freestyle. Before, it's always been Bachelor Recaps.
That's true. Oh, we've never been loose like this.
We've been loose, so now it's like we can talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about. We got a Coronation that happened over the weekend.
I missed it all, so I'm
Justin Bieber's running in jeans. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. It was running in jeans.
And Lenny Kravitz is working out in biker boots. I think there's some kind of reckoning coming.
Are they really working out?
That absolutely tracks to me. Yeah. Can I tell you, when I first moved to LA, I was at Crunch in West Hollywood, and next to me on a treadmill one day was Dave Navarro, just walking an incline, no shirt, leather pants, big boots. And I was like, yep, this is Dave Navarro. This is Dave Navarro.
Would you rather
big
run?
Nipple rings.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Would you rather run in jeans or do
leather?
Like, would you rather run in jeans or have like it, but with sneakers, or work out in biker boots but with like proper
jeans
like
and sneakers?
Shorts?
Jeans and sneakers. I feel like it's probably within my lifetime that people stop doing that.
Well,
like the idea of like running shorts and even like running shoes is kind of new.
Am I doing cardio or am I weightlifting?
I'd say you're doing a mixed circuit. You're doing some like HIIT training, like let's say CrossFit kind of thing. So you're sweating a lot, you're moving quickly, but you're also doing some weightlifting.
Then I need proper footwear for sure.
Yeah, you need proper.
Okay. So you're gonna squat in jeans?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming the option is jeans and some sort of sneaker, athletic shoe.
Yes, like a practical athletic shoe.
And I think Justin was wearing North Face or something.
New Balance.
New Balance. Okay, he's wearing New Balance, which is an athletic shoe.
Here's the thing: a jean will breathe. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's not jeans. Yeah, is better than leather.
Yeah, it's better than leather.
Sure. Yeah.
It's better than leather.
But then I thought the other option was some sort of boot with like a sweatpant.
Yeah.
And the shoe is more important.
Interesting.
If I'm lifting, I can go boot and sweatpant. But if I have to like run, and if CrossFit, there's quite a bit of running.
Yeah,
there's some running.
Yeah,
like everyone in LA, I did my
you did your
1 year sentence. Yeah. And I enjoyed it. It was like I was in shape for that year of my life, and it felt really good. And then the workout starts, and you hear down with the sickness for the 9 millionth time.
There's a lot, yeah.
It's rough. It's rough.
I did CrossFit for about a year and a half.
And also, I stopped just before I got injured, like everyone else I know got injured. Everyone hurt their back or their ankle or their whatever.
Yeah, it's tough on the body. I had some shoulder issues from it. Yeah,
what was your box? Where'd you go to do CrossFit?
In Eagle Rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where I was living at the time. This is pre-Bachelor.
You lived in Eagle Rock?
That's where I first lived.
I thought you
moved to LA.
Wow.
Okay.
I thought it was Venice.
No, Venice was after downtown and after Eagle Rock.
How long have you been here?
8 years.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's a lot of ground to cover in 8 years.
Eagle Rock, Venice. No, Eagle Rock, downtown, Venice, and the Valley.
And now Valley Village. The Vanderpump Valley.
Yes.
Oh my God, everyone's up here.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
I feel like I didn't realize that I like basically infiltrated their home base.
Yep. Yeah. Or they really infiltrated mine.
That's true.
Jackson, Brittany, right around the corner. Very excited about that. So anytime there's an external of their house on their rewatch,
you're like right by them.
I'm a stone's throw. Have we ever spoken to one another? No, we have not.
Last time I spoke with Jax was in San Diego at an event while my season of The Bachelor was airing. And Brittany, she was very sweet.
Yeah.
Asked for a picture, took a picture. Then Jack's like, let's all get a picture. And he's the only person I've ever said no to. And then he went on like Watch What Happens and like threw a big fit about it. Well, you know, to be honest, at the time, why did I say no?
Yeah.
Because it was a nightclub. And I was with some friends promoting the opening of their club, which was also fine. But quite honestly, at the time, all I knew about Vanderpump and all I knew about Jax Taylor was he was essentially he was Tom Sandoval. I saw Tom Sandoval. It would be like if I was the Bachelor today going out while my season's airing and people are wondering if I'm an engaged man and I'm like I don't want to be taking a picture with Tom Sandoval.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I saw Jax Taylor, you know,
Right.
kind of a guy who's just known for constantly like,
Yeah.
you know, cheating on and
Not a brand you want to be associated with.
So I was
Sure.
like, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
he
I get
took
it.
great offense to it. Should we
Okay.
ask him on the podcast?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah, sure.
it's time. It's
He
time to
seems
mend
like
that
he's turned a
fence.
corner, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't vouch.
Yeah.
You know,
But
I
you
know
are neighbors.
we are neighbors. Big
How-
fence, a big, you know, keep your dogs off the grass,
Okay.
off the, you know, 1 square yard patch of grass in the front. A lot of white cars. The couples that all
How many
moved
white
to the
cars
valley.
they have?
I guess just 2.
I'm getting a new
Um,
car today. I'm getting rid of the white, getting the black.
Of what?
You know, Audi. Just-
Okay.
I don't care about cars. I was like, can I
Okay.
just get the same?
Okay.
thing?
Is this a lease situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
Are
gonna
you-
keep it, but
Are you going to
Alright.
do the black vanity plate?
black. No.
You know how in California you can get the black
Yeah.
plate for
Mhm.
more? Like the
It's
black
black
background
with-
with yellow lettering?
Yeah, I
if you're
don't-
going a black car, you should do that.
Can
Think
you
that
order that
through.
for me?
I'll figure it out. What do you want it to say? Jeff's dad?
No.
Oh.
I just want.
Wi-Fi.
I am not getting a
Love.
custom. That I will.
LUV.
Yeah, don't.
No.
That's
No. Can I just get a number?
Yeah, you can do like a random
You
one,
want it to
but
be
still have to be
boring?
black.
What?
Oh.
Ugh, God, I don't need it. I don't need to identify myself.
That's
It's like
what
the
I'm
blue
saying.
check of cars.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
better be a good driver if you're going to have a distinctive, memorable license
don't.
plate.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
get
yeah.
you a normal one.
Yeah, you need.
No.
Why are you
Yuck.
getting his license plate anyway?
What?
Why are you getting his
Because
license
Nick's
plate?
not going to do it.
Okay.
I'm fine with the basic white one. I
Yeah.
do not care. I'm not a
Yeah.
car guy. Could give a
Mhm.
shit. I just need to get to places.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Dave,
There
have
you
you
go.
ever dreamed of a vanity plate? Do you
I
know
have
what you
never.
would put on one?
I have never. No.
I was just talking about this with someone
D.
yesterday.
Holmes.
No,
D.
not doing
Holmes.
it. Not doing it. No.
You get a honk that says that.
Yeah. No. 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 I've just
Big
never.
D.
I've never had anything that I like. Anything. Any permanent thing like that, or a bumper sticker. I
Oh,
just
bumper
it's like,
stickers are-
no. I'm
no.
too like capricious. I change my mind too many times, and I would be annoyed with my choice immediately. So
Can we bring the Justin Bieber?
Justin Bieber?
Justin Bieber.
Bieber. Those are supposed to be $7,000 pants.
Those are $7,000 pants. That's Kendall Jenner, and they're
Okay.
made of leather, but they're quote
What?
an optical illusion to look like denim. So
They definitely look like denim,
they look like old, like no
but
disrespect.
they're leather.
They looked like Old Navy jeans from the way they fit. That's no disrespect to Old Navy, just to say that it's a very generic, mass-produced,
No,
widely available.
Sure.
Can we disrespect them? I don't. Is it?
I didn't want to disrespect it by comparing it
Old
to Old Navy
Navy.
because Old Navy has some good stuff.
Yeah.
Look at this. I
You
don't
want a
think
4th of
Kendall
July
Jenner
tank
paid for
top?
those to begin with. So whatever.
No, of course
so,
not.
And if she did, like, it's a drop in the bucket. Those look like a giant waste of money.
Yeah.
And if they are leather, are leather pants comfortable? Are they?
I think they're hot.
Well,
Yeah.
like, but a loose leather. I don't know. I don't know how that would be.
leather
And
pants
this
are
is- This is a
leather.
baggy
Say that
leather.
again. What?
Leather pants are comfortable.
They are more comfortable or less comfortable than jeans.
Depends on what you're doing. Because like Amanda said, they get hot. So
Yeah.
when you're like running around setting up a party and you're wearing leather,
But just
good
like
luck.
in general, if comfort is the name of the game,
Mhm.
would you rather be wearing a jean or a leather pant?
I feel like leather's a little softer around the crotch when you sit.
Mm.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Because sometimes
You have
jeans
no.
are like,
You've never.
Well, I would say
I guess I would say I
jean.
don't think I could imagine you. Have you ever worn leather pants?
I've worn. Allie showed me a wonderful pair of leggings that has kind of like a finish that's vaguely leather.
the-
I actually,
That's
those
not
are
the same.
leggings.
Those are
Yeah, yeah,
leggings.
yeah.
I do actually. I have a pair of leather pants that I've yet to take out of my closet for their debut. You know those
Oh, wow.
those like clothing items where you're like, I like you, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to return you, but like I need to feel
You're
like
not
I
ready?
have some kind. Yeah, I'm
You
not
gotta-
ready.
you
Yeah,
gotta
it's
feel-
got to be.
You
It's
gotta
got to
feel
be a moment.
swaggy.
Yeah, it's got to be
Yeah.
a moment. I had
gotta
a
feel-
pair of leather pants once in about the year 1999, and I think I wore them once, and I was so self-conscious.
Were they
that I
black
could-
leather?
They were black leather, and I can't even speak to their comfort because I was so mentally and emotionally uncomfortable
Yeah.
Oh
during
my.
the whole experience.
Yeah, well, it really is the. You can't wear clothes if you're not feeling
Exactly.
good about yourself.
That was the
It's
lesson
just-
of the
That's
leather
really
pants.
the trick.
Give me
Uh,
a jean. Give me a jean.
She
any
looks
day.
kind of looks great in the photo. I mean,
I mean, this whole photo looks weirdly airbrushed. Like it genuinely, not only her face.
Yeah, I've never seen
There's not a
traffic
wrinkle.
thing that color either. Like what?
Yeah.
What Mario Land are we in?
Well,
this
her
picture?
bodyguard looks like a sim.
It
It's
does.
just- he hasn't been put to work
God.
yet.
What if they are AI? I
They
feel
might be.
very concerned about the future with like deep fake
Mhm.
technology the way it is now. Like I think
Yeah,
video
it should be.
footage is going to lose credibility
Yeah.
as like an eyewitness
Or
situation.
audio.
Yeah.
Right now, you can really tell, and when people can't tell, I'm concerned. But yeah, I feel like the day is coming when we won't
Yeah.
be able to tell. Okay, what are we looking up? Are we looking up the
No,
Bieber?
we're really good.
We're looking
Apparently,
Bieber jeans?
He doesn't look like he was just.
I think he just at one
Oh.
point needed
He
to
looks-
pick up his pace. I don't think
Yeah,
he's
this
like
does not feel.
running.
That's not a-
Yeah, you're not going to jog through a parking lot.
Like it's like, oh, sorry, I'm running a tiny bit late. Let me cut
He's
off
also
a minute.
not even on the side of the street.
Yeah,
yeah,
He's like,
in a parking lot.
yeah, there's a parking lot.
and someone calls this running.
Well,
What's
it
the
does
headline
say-
here?
It also got picked up by runnersworld.com.
Oh, for
Justin
the
Bieber
love
did
of
his
says
morning
Bieber
run in
is a
jeans,
known
and the
runner.
internet's losing it. Well, yeah, no, he's just in the middle of the.
He's just
street.
running a little bit late, and he needs to jump
Why
into
are
his
there
coffee.
3 Mercedes-Benz behind him? What an ad.
Is this sponsored by Mercedes-Benz?
There are literally 3, the only 3 cars behind. He looks like he's running
Wow.
in traffic, and there's 3 Mercedes-Benz behind him. And they don't even
Yeah, this
blur
feels
out the
coordinated.
license plate.
Yeah.
No,
They do
do
on
not.
the other 2, but not the one that's closest. How bizarre.
Strange.
How bizarre.
The internet is losing it. Okay, that has lost its power as a headline. The internet is always losing it. Losing
Yeah.
it is the job of the
Literally, it's like the internet is freaking out about.
Yeah,
and
But
it's
there's a
like,
video.
No, it's
Play the
6
video.
well,
fucking
I think
people.
this is just someone covering it with the photos.
internet. Just this overall look, I'm not feeling.
No.
The fit of the jean is bothering me.
Well, another semi-controversial look was Doja's new tattoo.
If you asked me to pick Doja Cat out of a lineup, I would
You
not
couldn't.
be able to. Same thing with Rita Ora and
Oh, wow. That's permanent.
That's permanent.
well, I guess now I would be able to.
That's the
identify
new tattoo?
Little skeletal.
It's a skeletal bat. Oh wow, my voice just
it. Okay.
Bat.
So that's her bat. It's her bat bones.
Yep.
It,
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah, no, I don't care for that one bit.
it's
Dave.
it's simple yet large.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. She saw that picture of Ben Affleck and she was like, you know what? I see you.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I raise you.
His tattoo is wild.
It's really wild and it's really real.
His giant dragon or something.
Yeah. There's a project
Oh
I've been
my
wanting to do at
God.
home, which is just
You're looking at Ben Affleck's tattoo right now. It's a lot.
it's so bad.
It's colorful.
All the paparazzi photos of him smoking a cigarette really sadly or carrying too many Dunkin'
Dunkin'.
Donuts things. I just want to get 6 to 8 of them and print them out 5x7 and just have them framed and just in various walls and corners of the
Yeah,
house.
like maybe black and white.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
think the internet gives Ben Affleck enough of respect, though.
Oh no. No, nobody does.
Nobody does.
But he does put himself out there
He does.
in a way that
Generously.
is fun to make fun of.
Would you rather have Ben Affleck's tattoo or Doja's?
Oh boy.
Dojas. You can work with that. I think there's some, it's so simple that you could fix it. Where Ben's is,
Ben's
it's
rough.
a work of art
It is. It's colorful.
and it's there.
Yeah.
It is.
It's
Oh
there.
God.
Just some quick housekeeping. We got Chloe Veitch from Perfect Match with us on Going Deeper on Thursday. Her, Natalie Joy, our pop culture correspondent, will be with us to talk about all things in that Netflix Perfect Match world. We'll get an update on.
I mean, Chloe's Netflix royalty. She's just churning out content
either way,
and shows.
we'll maybe get an update on the drama between Georgia and Francesca. Maybe she has some tea there. I don't know.
she
Maybe
also was there for the Love Is Blind live reunion.
she was there.
So we can get
yeah,
some
we'll
behind
find
the
out what's
scenes.
going on with her. You know what happened there. Maybe there's some tea behind the live that never was. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So be sure to check us out on Going Deeper. And also don't forget, another episode of Better Date Than Never is happening live Thursday night. We're talking blowjobs, best practices,
Yeah.
tips and tricks,
Yeah.
Do you cup the balls? Do you not cup the balls?
Oh, I
You
heard
know?
cut. That was
Important stuff.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
cut the ball?
You snip those
don't.
balls while
No.
you're down there.
Do not cut the balls. Anyways, also, Viall Files Plus is still rocking and rolling for all the people who love their update specials. We drop 2 more a month behind Viall Files Plus, in addition to the one we drop on Viall Files Classic Plus, your Better Date Than Never episodes that you don't get to listen to live, plus our Pop Culture Roundup, Pop Extra, or Pop Off, depending on what you like to call it, with more additional fun as well. Just go to viallfiles.com. It's a free 7-day trial to check that out. So if you don't have it yet, trust me when I say you are missing out. What's going on in Bachelor World, Allie?
A couple questions for everybody. If you
Yes.
were to tell me
Mhm.
the one woman from Zach's season that Clayton is interested in, who do you think it would be?
From Zach's season, Clayton is most interested in. Did someone like Chipotle on Zach's season?
Not that I'm aware of. Just think like personality wise.
I don't even remember Zach's season.
Maybe
I thought you
someone
were gonna be like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
didn't-
remember Clayton's personality.
Yeah, same and same. I have not. I didn't watch a single episode this last season.
You didn't?
Oh,
No.
wow.
Why?
I tried a couple minutes, and Zach felt so uncomfortable on camera that it made me uncomfortable. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna stick a pin in this. I'll come back to it later, and I just never did. Actually, you know what? That I guess maybe we watched like most of the finale, kind of. But yeah, no, I couldn't get invested.
It was pretty good.
Okay,
Season.
well, good for him.
Well, Clayton is interested in Jess.
Oh boy,
Jess,
who could forget Jess?
Mhm. Sparkles.
Yeah,
Body
White-
glitter Jess.
Shine
She's-
bright.
Clayton's definitely going to paradise, right?
Well, hope that was kind of like the question of if you were going to go to paradise, who would you be
They
most
definitely
interested?
have a lot of like
Okay.
options for leads for paradise.
Rachel?
Gabby. Like, I feel like the payoff has not been the same for the leads in recent years, where whether it's social media following or the opportunities that come to follow, and then you have Rachel and Gabby having to share a season, that already takes a little bit of it away, so to speak. And so I guess the overall opportunities and the benefits that follow a typical leads experience, I think, aren't what they used to be. And I think you're going to see more leads be more willing to do things like Paradise, where in past seasons, it was thought of like, that's kind of a beneath
That's
me
for the-
situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had Becca,
Mm-hmm.
who kind of broke that seal, so it's not like it hasn't been done before. I know there were conversations about Peter Weber doing it, but with his flight schedule, that didn't work out. But now Peter Weber, newly is single man after coming out of his second or third tour with Kelly.
Tour.
Tour.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're no longer together.
Yeah.
Okay. I
But
gotcha.
they got back together.
I
Yeah.
believe they tried twice
I
after
see.
the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Peter's available, Clayton's available, Rachel's available, Gabby's available,
Mm-hmm. But also
Michelle. What's
Mm.
Michelle up to?
So
Katie.
is it an oops all leads?
I don't think
season
Katie's
of,
coming. Katie's doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah, she's got a career.
She's working hard towards that. And it's not to say I don't know what the other ones are doing, but Katie seems to have a focus or a path, something she's working towards, where it seems unclear. And maybe they are all very busy bees doing things that we're just unaware of. But it also, Peter obviously is busy being a pilot. But I kind of wonder what some of the other ones are up to. And I wouldn't be shocked to see it. Prediction, you're going to see at least one lead
Mm-hmm.
on the shores of Paradise. And if you're a producer, wouldn't you desperately want to bring Rachel and Clayton on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Well,
I
that's
think-
what a lot of people have been asking for, is to, now that he's potentially open to it and he's bringing up these ideas of Jess. Obviously, Rachel's been asked if she's going to go back to Paradise. A lot of people want it. And I think also Susie's commentary on here of, I thought they were the most compatible, does nothing but encourage that.
Does Susie go to Paradise?
Oh.
Oh. But also, speaking of Becca, who was the first lead on the beach, she and Thomas are having a baby boy,
I know.
Oh, we didn't talk about that?
a little Tommy.
Oh, Thomas
Well, they
stopped-
did their gender reveal
I saw
on
Thomas
Friday.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Stopped by the
Boy.
house.
Little boy.
How did they do the reveal?
I'm pretty sure it was a baseball situation.
Okay. Okay. How do we,
Oh, and it blew up. And it was blue.
I don't
Gotcha.
see myself doing a gender reveal.
Good.
Yeah.
Would you just tell people, or are you going to keep it until the baby's born?
I don't know.
Are
I mean,
these-
listen, I
yeah.
might like say, hey, guess what? We're having a boy or a girl. But
Yeah.
I don't see myself doing some sort of pink or blue explosion type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you'd take a slice of the cake.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, you
I
just
don't-
learn and tell people.
Yeah, I just
and
might just be like,
normal.
oh, what is it? And then, or like an IG live in the doctor's office.
If you wanna.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
or
could be
it's-
fun.
Yeah. HIPAA.
I don't. I'm confident that I will not in any way put myself at risk of needing to call an ambulance or a fire department
Right.
as a result of said gender reveal.
Yeah. Or like a special baker. Or a,
Yeah.
or a wig maker,
Yeah.
or something. Yeah,
I
like
could
that
see you doing something
a
on the
pinata
show.
that blows up in pink or blue.
Sure.
What if I baked a cake and brought it to the studio?
Sure. I mean, like, can we eat the cake? But I'm just saying it'll be like, hey, guess what? There will be an envelope, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gender reveals and promposals are things that have just popped up in the last 10 years, and I
What's
feel
the
like it's
second
just
one?
promposals.
What?
Oh
Huh?
my God.
It's, you can't just
What's a
ask
Going to a
someone to the
dance.
prom. It has to be a whole thing.
Yeah.
Where you spell something out in
I sent my
rose petals.
boyfriend on a
Quintessential
or
one?
you
whole...
make
This
a,
is like high school we're talking.
Yeah,
about.
the
Yeah.
quintessential one is like a pizza that's like, I know this is cheesy, but will you go to prom with me? Like when
Exactly,
I think of
exactly.
promposals, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, because
Wow.
it's like all of these things require you to buy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I sent my boyfriend on an entire like scavenger hunt. There was multiple clues, and then the like ask was at the end.
Wait, you asked your boyfriend to prom?
I went to an all-girls school.
There you go. Yeah, you got to.
So something you think about when it comes to Bachelor World is that there are a lot of changes in Bachelor Nation when it comes to people running the show. It's really a whole new regime.
Okay.
Well, you have Mike Fleiss leaving.
Right.
Especially some of the people I know, a lot of the higher ups, there's been some shaking up. There's one person that kind of from my times who's running things along with two other people now who I've never met, don't know anything about. One's from, I think, Bachelor Canada, and the other person is someone I think worked on the show for a while back. And then you have no Mike Fleiss, and there was a gentleman, Martin. He was kind of in charge of all the editing, post-production, a lot of power, very important, but like no one knew about him. He's gone. So it'll be really interesting because now you don't have the Mike Fleisses of the world like being in Hawaii, picking up the phone, just kind of inserting his kind of views of the world onto The Bachelor. And I'll be curious as how much changes we will see when it comes to the franchise, starting with the charity season. So whether you guys like or dislike it, I would expect for us to see maybe some changes now that it's a very new regime when it comes to the people running The Bachelor.
Okay. What about Paradise?
Same
Do
thing.
they have a host? Are they going to?
I believe it's still going to be
cycle people
Jesse
in?
and Wells.
Okay.
I don't think that will change.
No, I mean for Paradise. Because wasn't it like?
Well, no, that's 2
revolving
seasons
door?
ago.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, yeah. Bring back Lil Jon.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
I just want him to do all the announcements for commercial breaks.
Sure.
I'm
I can handle
afraid
that.
that we're going to lose the comedy when it comes to Paradise. Last season, they brought some comedy back. I think it was a little light, a little loose. I could be wrong, but I'm afraid that the people leaving were the people who wanted to bring some lightheartedness, and the people staying, just no drama.
It's a very interesting
Could be
topic
wrong.
of debate, like that I think also relates to like the Vanderpump episode we'll discuss later, because the way editing and like with reality TV, the way they can lean into the fact that like this is not just a documentary trying to recreate footage, like kind of making it a little more like stylized and telling a story. Rather, I think it is like a distinctive way that a show kind of like develops an identity, is like how much the editing is like stylized and how self-aware it is and how cheeky and fun versus how much it's like, this is like serious prestige reality drama.
Right. You know, also shows like this and like The Real World necessarily change because like the first few years, it's like nobody quite knows what it is or what they're doing or whatever. And then you have that sort of era. And then there's the time where it's like people who've seen many seasons of it and like kind of get a feeling for how the show works and how to get airtime, and like they're thinking about what kind of character they want to be and whatever. Then it becomes people participate in it who have literally never known a world without it, right? Like, so you would see probably now, you're starting probably to see people on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. It started before they were born, probably, right?
You're getting to that point, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that just automatically changes the tone of it because, you know, like that a person producing the first few seasons couldn't really work with a person who's never known a life without it. You know? They're just coming from different worlds. I don't know.
It'll be interesting. But I'm curious if we'll see any substantive changes where we're watching and go, that's new or that's different. And that will be a result of new people running it. I'm very unfamiliar with many of the people running it now, which is kind of interesting. And more importantly, I think the people who were very much in charge, Mike, Martin, you know, who those guys are out. So you really have true new leadership. The people running that section of Warner Brothers, they're different. So it's a lot of different people. Our friend of show, Rob Mills, over at ABC, is still there and still very influential. But, you know, he's more running a bunch of different things over at ABC. He's not necessarily making day-to-day decisions. So it'll be interesting to see how the show, if at all, changes going forward.
Yeah.
When does the new Bachelorette start?
June
26th?
26th. Yeah.
Close.
Getting up there.
Have they announced the boys yet? Have we met the boys?
No, we
We've
have
not met the boys.
But we do know there's going to be an undercover brother. We met Charity's brother during Hometowns, and
Okay.
it's unclear how
seems
long.
stupid.
I am so glad that went the way that it went. I really saw the explanation of what undercover brother meant being something very different.
Yeah, really
So
fucked
her
up.
brother will be
Apparently at night one wearing a very obvious fake mustache and wig.
Yes.
okay.
So I don't suspect he'll go
Okay.
uncovered
Gotcha.
very long. And
Okay.
Charity does know he is there. So there's no risk of her making out with the brother.
I see.
So.
Okay.
But speaking of like disguises, did you see that people were speculating that Meghan Markle was at the coronation
That's ridiculous.
in disguise?
She's not
There's
go-
no
no.
way.
No, absolutely not. Like,
No.
Come on.
She was back in California. It was Archie's birthday. It was the coronation was the same day as Archie's birthday.
Yeah.
So that's why
So-
she was still at home.
That's why that was the excuse she gave.
Nick, you want to leave your child childless on his birthday?
I just think that's not why.
Yeah. No, there's
I
obviously.
think there are many factors.
Lot
If your
of factors.
grandfather is going to be made king of a country, and unless you have some sort of falling out with the fam, I don't think. How old is Arch?
He's turning 4.
Yeah, I don't think
Aw.
the 4-year-old's birthday party is the reason why you can't make it. Good excuse, not the reason.
Sure.
Yeah, why don't
Yeah,
they
it's
just come
still-
on and be like, hey, we still hate each other?
Right. Or it just would steal focus, I feel like. It would,
Yeah.
like her being there would be.
Did she uninvite herself, or was she uninvited?
I think, I don't know.
What you
You
said.
I
know,
think she
don't
was
know.
technically sent an invitation, but she decided not to go.
Like she sent an
Right.
invitation on the back of the card, like, honestly, please don't come.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It
If
had
she
the
shined
wrong
a
date
black
on it.
light on it on the back, it was like,
Yeah.
actually, this is
By the
not
way,
real.
you know, you can just watch Prince Harry play polo up in Santa Barbara. You know, the polo
Should
grounds.
we
If you're
go?
driving up to Santa Barbara on the right, there's those polo grounds, and he just plays now with a team. I've like gone and seen it. It's super cool.
Really?
Yeah, you can just drive right up and
Will
buy
you
a
let
ticket
me know
and sit
next
down
time
and
you
go.
go?
You just
Sure.
you just gone
Great.
and watched Prince Harry? Is he good?
Yep, he's actually really good.
He and William are both pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it may be that the rest of the team a little bit like defers to him to kind of allow him to shine a little bit. But I mean,
That
not
really
knowing
happens?
anything about polo, it does seem like he knows what he's doing. Like he
It also seems
pretty
like
good.
they're riding horses.
They're riding horses.
Hitting,
It's a very exciting sport. It's a very
It's like-
exciting
There's a
sport.
lot going on.
Yeah.
It's like, what's that? It's like,
Croquet?
yeah, 'cause it's like croquet on horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuts.
And those horses are
They're really
booking.
moving.
Yeah. It's great. And then it's not called halftime, but I forget what it's called. But at halftime, everybody goes out and stomps the divots
Oh, yeah.
in the field.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
and
Woman.
everyone's
I know
super
this from
dressed
Pretty
up.
Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's super dressed up and it's cool and fun. I recommend it. You're in
Nice.
the
Any
Southern
other
California area.
commentary on the Coronation Alley? being our
Oh
expert.
boy, oh boy.
Let's keep it brief.
I-
We have a lot of Vanderpump to get to.
There we go.
I'm just like not a fan of Charles and Camilla. So
They
sorry.
look, they look sleepy and tired.
100%. There was not
yeah.
a smile to be had. He looked like he was half asleep. I felt like they were both having problems walking, which makes me a little concerned for the future of this country.
yeah,
and
we'll be doing this
Commonwealth.
again.
But they need to
In
walk.
Not too
Yeah.
long.
We'll be
I
back
just
here.
feel like it's like I don't know. It wasn't giving me like a sign of strength for the monarchy
Sure.
when you see these two very frail people struggling to walk.
Yeah.
Is that? But what do you mean though?
I don't know. I was looking for Ix
I
and
think
I
there
found
is
them.
something symbolic about the who is supposed to be the leader, like the beating heart
Literally
of the
can't
country, like looking kind of like feeble, and just the fact you're thinking about their health means
Yeah.
that there's something there.
But they're wearing like 70 pounds.
I
of clothing
honestly
and
wish.
hats and jewelry.
So I honestly wish that Camilla had been wearing one of these like formal robes that like Kate is wearing, and you can see like
People seem to
Duchess
like that robe.
Duchess Sophie's wearing because they're wearing it underneath their actual gowns. Like
It
Kate's
looks
wearing,
kind of silly.
She looks like everyone at the Ren Fair.
Yeah.
but when you put Camilla next to them, she looks underdressed. You know
But
what
they
I mean?
look like they're about to go to a Renaissance fair.
But like
Yeah.
Camilla looked like if she went on Shein
Where's
and typed
Camilla?
in Coronation. Like Camilla was just not giving in my mind.
Okay.
Do you think Harry's gonna really lose his marbles when Pops passes and Will is made king?
I don't think he has any interest in being king.
You don't?
No.
Oh, come on.
No, I don't. Because it's not going to happen. He knows it's
No,
never
I
gonna
mean, I
happen,
know, like,
so
I think he's
had a
accepted
lifetime to
that,
deal
but
with
deep
it.
down, I feel like this is all about being
yeah,
fair.
no.
Well, I think being the spare maybe gave him the window into shit, where it's like he
She
might
looks
not have.
nice.
Yeah,
But she looks like she has a very large object on top of her head that's very uncomfortable, and it really bothers. That's what
I
it
just
looks
like neither of them looked in any way like grateful, happy, loving.
Yeah, I actually don't really know what the tone should be because they're not like they didn't win.
I want them
King
like
and
Miss
Queen,
America.
you know what I mean? It's like I mean we haven't, the last one of these was 70 years ago, right?
Mhm.
And so I guess some footage remains, but everything else, you know, this is a 1,000+ year-old tradition that is supposed to impart all kinds of a national identity.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know that like gratitude is the note or joy or whatever. It's supposed to be like the seriousness and a stoicism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard people say like the queen represented like dignity for the country.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Well,
It's been
good
so
luck to
long
them.
since we've seen actual dignity. I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
So hard
Well,
to say.
Godspeed.
Yeah.
They're not my faves anyways, so.
Are you a Will fan?
Yeah, I'm a Will and Kate fan. I'm just like Charles and Camilla,
Same.
the freaking like Tampax phone call that was tapped.
Yeah, it's pretty
TBT.
spooky.
What was
Wait,
that?
what
That's
was
pretty
that?
Oh,
don't remember
a
that?
phone call between Camilla and Charles. This was pre-divorce. I think he was still with
Yeah, he
Diana.
definitely
It was tapped. And Charles, over the phone to Camilla, said that he was envious of her tampons
wanted to
because
be-
he wanted to just stay
Yeah.
inside of her.
I wanted to be reincarnated
He wanted to
as a
soak.
tampon.
Nobody told him about soaking.
I don't know what that means.
Yuck.
I don't want to know what that means. Let's move on.
Watch Jury Duty.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll find out.
Okay. Anyone who's not watching Jury Duty on free, is it Freebie? It's great.
Freebie.
It's great.
Stream it on
You gotta-
Amazon
You
Prime.
gotta watch it.
Okay.
Hey, it's tax season out there. For some of you who maybe have put it off, who haven't paid their taxes, well, it's not good. And you might get a little stressed out. You might be a little sweaty, especially in the ball area. You know, nerves create a little panic and stress. Well, if you are stressed out, maybe whether it's taxes you haven't paid yet or just life in general, make sure that your balls are well taken care of. They're at least freshened up with some ball deodorant, or maybe you just want to nicely groomed.
Or let's say you did do your taxes on time and you got a tax return. You know what a great way to spend that money is.
Clean balls.
Correct.
Get those wild hairs trimmed. But in all seriousness, we know there's a lot of wonderful women with partners out there who are men. And I'm just telling you, if you don't know this already, they're using your clippers and your scissors and your products on their ball hair. So just so you know, they're putting their ball hair on their face and then you kiss them. These are disgusting things that your men in your life are doing. Let's cut it out. Let's put a stop to it. And let's just go ahead and get your man in your life the amazing products that are at Manscaped. Like the Lawnmower 4.0 is the star of the show. That's right, offering a precision shave and all your wildest hedges. Equipped with an LED light. They have great underwear. They have their nose hair trimmer, their Weed Whacker 2.0, which is an ear and nose hair trimmer. Use it at the office to Amanda and Allie's displeasure. They grossed them out, but yet my nose hair was gone. Just zip, 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 zip. So to get 20% off plus free shipping, use code VIALL at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code VIALL at manscaped.com. That's MANSCAPED.com. Don't just get your money back this year, get your swagger back too with Manscaped. All right, is it time to get into a little VPR, a little Vanderpump?
Let's get pumping.
Speaking of
Episode-
dignity.
All right,
let's-
Dave, so I
let's dive
texted you
in.
the other day. I said, Dave, are you
Yes.
watching Vanderpump? You said,
Yes.
yes. I'm also going back and watching season 1,
Yes.
which we have yet to do. Well, Amanda started doing it. I have yet to do. But you know what? Actually, I did start over the weekend. Housewives of New Jersey.
Oh.
Oh.
Started from the beginning?
No, just I'm doing the VPR thing where I'm just starting at its current season and I'm
Uh-huh.
seeing if it whets the appetite.
Okay.
And then I may go back. But
Fair.
that's the there.
Yeah.
A lot of yelling.
A lot of yelling. A lot of
Yeah.
yelling.
Lot
Do
of-
you have an opinion
uh,
on which Housewives franchise is the best?
It is not, none of them are my cup of tea.
Hmm.
I don't like, this is really why I had resisted Vanderpump Rules until very recently. I don't like watching people be mean to each other.
I was
It
kind of the
bums
same thing
me
where I
out.
way back years ago. I had girlfriends who watched Housewives.
Yeah.
It just was a lot of yelling, a lot,
Lot
of
of yelling.
meanness, a lot of just.
Yeah. And just like, it's like embarrassing. It's just embarrassing.
I want to give the Housewives another crack,
Okay.
just because VPR has really been good for me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just entertainment wise.
Sure.
Anyway, so Vanderpump.
Vanderpump.
And you got into what made you? I'm assuming the scandal of it all.
Yeah,
is
I
the
mean,
what,
just
kinda tune in.
The fact that it was just suddenly all anybody wanted to talk about. It was like it seemed to have arrived in a whole new, fresh way. Also, like I said, these are all our neighbors now, right? So
they really are.
Yeah, they're everywhere. So I was like, I should, and I still
Raquel lives on Allie's floor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I was up in the gym on Friday finishing the episode. And I was like, well, I hope she's not back in town because she's going to walk into the gym and see me seeing her.
Katie lives near one of our grocery stores. Tom and... What is up with Ariana and Tom's house? Are they going to sell it? What do we know anything about that?
I have no idea.
They're last we heard, it feels like they're both still in there.
I'm not familiar with where their house is.
Okay. They're on the other side of Laurel from Jackson, Brittany, and me, which sounds like we all know each other. We don't. But I think they're on the other side, kind of around Magnolia, maybe? I don't know.
I'm over by
or Moore Park. So yeah, anyway, they're in the neighborhood. I still get very excited when like I hated Entourage, but I watched every episode because I'd be like, this show, I can't stand it, and I don't care if Turtle gets the shoes that he's waiting in line for or whatever the plot would be. But I would be like, I hate this, and I hate that they made it. But then I'd be like, oh, I just had brunch there. If they were somewhere that I knew, that was still really exciting. Yeah. So I love having that experience with the show. So I started watching it just to have things to talk about with my friends who watch it. And then I did Sheena's podcast last year, and I liked her. And I was like, now I'm like, whatever. The ice is broken on this thing. Maybe I'll go and watch. So I've watched the last few episodes. We just had a bunch of flights on which I watched like some, like maybe season 4 or 5 episodes. And I was like, all right.
Which airline is pumping out?
Well, anyone that has live TV, like I think it was on Delta or JetBlue or any of the ones where you can like watch live TV.
Because that would be some great airplane.
Oh, it's
content.
prime airport content.
Yeah.
Just
exactly catching up on all things Vanderpump. That would be awesome.
You can do a crossword. You can watch it. You can,
What if they let you on an airplane ahead of time be like, what do you intend to watch? And then they sat you with other people who wanted to watch that. So that way you can have some community.
There you go.
Obviously, they would never do this. This is logistically complicated.
Right? Just but
you can do a chat.
Like a Vanderpump viewing party on the plane.
They should. That's a very feasible one. Because you can aren't there some random airlines? I feel like it's a lot of the ones that do like transatlantic where you can message people in seats on the plane.
Yes. Yeah. No, JetBlue has had that
start
forever.
That.
Or no, Virgin had that.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago. Somebody seated next to me on a flight, messaged me and was like, are you the guy from MTV? And I was like, I turned to him and I said, yeah. And he goes, I want to do it like this. Like he wanted to do the thing. It was where you had the, it would like, the remote would pull out
like
so you could play games.
Yeah.
So you could play very rudimentary games. The games are exactly where they were 15 years ago. But anyway, yes, no, I like that.
We should be connected with people watching the same thing on the plane.
Yeah, there you go. A group
there's
text.
stuff to say when you watch a show like Vanderpump.
Yeah.
Stuff to say about this episode.
Absolutely.
Airlines should do that. They should like onboard like community and creating like viewing parties for like trashy reality
Bring the
TV
world
shows.
together at a time when we're coming
Yeah.
apart. Let's come together on an airplane over how much Raquel is nuking her life.
Raquel is
She's making up for lost
making
time.
up for lost time,
What
as
time
she says.
Did she lose? What are we talking
Did
about?
that in any way endear you to her? Or not endear
What?
you? No. Did that give you any sense of like, okay, did that humanize her at all to you?
How?
No.
Keep in mind that she said this on a birthday party focused on her, in which she brought Tom and Ariana, who was part of this very intimate group. Ariana being the one who's looking out for her and kind of like, oh, can you not do the pageant thing yet? And then holding her and embracing her and telling her it's going to be okay. Cut to Raquel, Rashul, whatever, giving a little interview about how just, how she just wants to be the spokesperson for young women out there through her actions, and how like her whole life is about just, wanting the pressure of being a good person, and now she's making up for lost time while she is sleeping with her very good friend's boyfriend. How and what way did that humanize me to her?
I was asking a discussion question. I didn't watch that and go, oh my God, okay.
Yeah.
We gotta hear this.
Sorry if I came at you a little bit. Yeah.
It is very interesting. The whole thing of like, I want to be a role model is very interesting. Not only because she's saying it while she is modeling bad behavior, right?
Mm.
Terrible behavior, the worst behavior. But it's also like, again, she's what, late 20s now?
28.
28?
Aged out.
She's aged out. What a
From
shame.
pageant world, not
Yeah.
not life.
So she has grown up in a world where you could say, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, a role model. I want to be a role model. Like, before you've even figured out who you are and what you would be modeling to people.
Literally.
You're just like, oh, I want to be a role model. And people will take you seriously. And that's a viable road ahead, even before you have figured out what your actual personality is.
Yeah, I feel like it's like the influencer situation where before it was like, we want these people who are already prominent, who are already known, who are significant to use their influence to then get people to buy products. And now it's become, you can just be an influencer.
I don't know what I want to influence.
What it is I can influence, and I'll just see what sticks.
Right.
But it's clear she just wanted to be Miss California, which is why she started throwing out, oh, I'm going to be an occupational therapist, when she had no
idea what that was.
Exactly. She never actually wanted to do that.
Therapist?
It is not unlike physical therapy, right? But I think it's more like
it's an occupation.
It's an occupation. It's like you help people with the movements that allow them to like move through the world.
Occupational therapists evaluate and treat people who have injuries, illnesses, or disabilities. They help clients meet goals to develop, recover, improve, and maintain skills needed for daily living and working.
That is incredibly vague.
I think it's just like the idea is like in operation, like in moving through day-to-day life, like what are the kind of specific things that you are currently like having barriers with?
So
and
if
how
I
do we
were,
overcome?
say, someone who, for whatever reason, had maybe a mild injury that became chronic, and I was having a hard time grocery shopping on my own, I might reach out to an occupational therapist to learn some best practices or new tools to make that process easier.
All right. So my mom just took a fall and is 91. She's fine.
She okay?
She's fine now. But there were, a few weeks where it was like, what is life after this gonna, look like? Because your bones don't heal, right? So she had to see a physical therapist that I think was about like healing the injury kind of and healing the muscle. But then an occupational therapist was like getting up and out of chairs or like reaching that shelf or whatever. Like like physical stuff, but like tied to the motions that you're going to need to do to live your life.
Yeah, a Healthline article says occupational therapists are specialists in activity analysis. So kind of like going in on the specific day-to-day activities and being like, what needs to happen there?
Yeah.
Probably requires a high level of problem-solving skills.
Yep.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay.
And
she wants to do that because it looked good on a...
I mean, she did
by her
major
own
in
admission, she kind of
kinesiology.
suggested that it was just more...
no,
What?
way.
The what?
She did graduate with a degree in kinesiology. So she would just have to do a master's to
I see.
fulfill her dream.
And kinesiology is, I feel like, what every personal trainer
scientific
What's
has.
the
study
average
of
salary of
human
an
body.
occupational therapist?
I feel like you're still in scrubs if you're an occupational
Between
therapist.
91 and 100 something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or if you're paid hourly, anywhere from 40 to 83 an hour.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So Raquel, she basically doesn't want to be one.
Yeah, I think she's doing exactly what she wants to do with her life right now, being on a show.
Who do you think it feels more vindicated with every episode that comes out? Lala, Katie, or James?
I was going to say Kristen,
What?
who, because she was with Sandoval
Sure.
in the early days of the show.
Yeah.
And he cheated on her with Ariana.
Yeah.
And then she was like, she's bent on getting revenge for several years and probably still. So she's been sort of banging that drum for the entire like arc of the series. So I feel like, and she was on Watch What Happens Live after this.
She was. And they got some good ratings.
Sure.
But I guess. But I wonder, I feel like for Kristen, it's been so long. I actually feel for her.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where it's been so long. I have no doubt it's bringing up old wounds. And while validated, I am sure it's just like a shame that she even has to experience these feelings at all 9 years later. I mean,
well, it's a choice.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, no, Lala, I don't, she's entertaining, but I don't have like, she has not come up yet in my, from the beginning watch.
Well, it's
so
interesting.
I don't have a read on whether I like her as a human being.
With Katie, she's more intimately involved. She's got her and Tom Schwartz divorce and Raquel kind of not seeming to give a fuck about the sanctity of that marriage or what it was, and kind of doing like, well, you're not with him, he's fair game, I don't give a fuck, we're not really friends, blah, blah, blah. And Katie has exceptions. With Lala, she's as willing as a character to have very strong takes. And had this played out differently, I mean, Lala really could have been setting herself up for a very different edit.
Okay.
Don't you think? If it never came to pass that Tom was sleeping with Raquel, and maybe Raquel was just like a seemingly like just nice, impressionable 28-year-old wannabe role model who didn't harm anyone, and here is Lala calling her a home wrecker, trash. Just what did she call? What did she call her this episode? Like a troll or
a dumb
stupid demon?
A stupid demon.
Yeah.
I was
I'm just saying,
that
like,
with Amanda, and she was like, she just has a way with words.
Yeah.
She does.
But this is all prior to her knowing this was happening. She really put herself out. You know, and we're all watching this under the lens of knowing this all happened, and I find it very fascinating to know that Lala is out there slinging stupid demon out there for everyone, and that only lands when the person you're calling, especially in 2023. That only lands when the person you're calling a stupid demon turns out to be fucking your other friend's boyfriend.
Right. Okay. This brings me to something larger. We are led to believe that nobody in the cast or the production knew what was going on. I guess they have tacked on a couple new episodes, right? Like since the story broke. I don't believe that at all. Like I don't believe it. There are things that people say that don't make sense, or that like all the like Ariana saying like Raquel is a good girl and I trust her. Okay, it's like, yes, of course, watching that, knowing what we know is like right. But if she doesn't know, if the production doesn't, who cares? Like what? People are saying things that like if they don't pay off in some way, then it doesn't move the story forward at all. Right?
Yeah.
So like, who cares? The early days of Vanderpump Rules, it's all like, well, I hate her and I hate her and him and like whatever. Everybody hates each other and that's what drives the story. So for this stuff to come up now and people being like, we are real good friends. It's like, who cares? There has to be conflict, and the conflict has to resolve in some way for it to work. You know what I mean? So there's just or like fucking Ken Todd walking in and being like, OMG. Can you believe that Raquel slept over and whatever?
It's like amazing impression.
I can't believe Tom Sandoval had Raquel over and Ariana's away, and in the jacuzzi as well.
That's amazing.
I really want to get him on the show.
Oh my God! But like, he doesn't care. Right?
No, but could not give less
Lisa
of a fuck.
put it on a Post-it note and said, "Ken, memorize this."
Yes, say it.
This.
But like, she shouldn't care. I mean, I guess her role in the show, she sort of has to. But like, why even put that out there? Why even put that out there if something isn't happening and everybody kind of knows it?
My question for that is, if I were a reality TV producer and I was going to try to get someone to talk shit about another person, I would start by saying like, what are your favorite qualities? I would have them start by like going on for like a while about how much they like this person, how many good qualities they have, and be like, okay, and then like what? So that way they're eased into it a little more is my thought. But
sure,
as a reality TV alumni, you can tell me if that's bullshit.
They also didn't do that. She didn't do that. She didn't say anything negative about Raquel.
But I'm like, maybe they have the footage from that.
Well,
like they were trying to bait her.
Lisa scene with Ken, that could have been filmed a week ago. I mean, it's not that hard to do some sort of
like Katie, cut a tomato.
Stage pickup, with no like timestamp in the kitchen.
They're editing this
but they're
episode?
saying that they didn't. They're saying that they haven't touched anything. They're saying they have not done a thing until.
Are you sure though? Because
episodes.
from how I interpreted that was Andy Cohen saying with the first episode that got dropped after this leaked, he said, this episode is wild because we haven't touched anything. Has he made a statement about the rest of the season?
He hasn't.
Because he's definitely gone
episode.
back.
Yeah.
He did just talk about this latest one, and he was like, I was talking to the production and the people in production and saying like, are you sure you didn't know anything? Like, how did you not know or whatever? But that doesn't mean that nothing was changed in this episode. Okay, that is interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Okay.
You got to be sneaky.
Yeah.
But
And I
give these
love it.
editors an Emmy.
Oh my God. The flash forward, the flashback, the black and white.
That was really
the voiceover.
Amazing. 10 out of 10.
The
Well,
sandwich
that's why
tasting.
I think they definitely have been editing since then because it's
Okay.
too, right? The
Yeah.
whole
Okay.
flashbacks of it all.
Okay.
I think they're kind of leaning into the scandal. It's interesting watching this season. Like, obviously, we love Ariana. We hope to get her on and talk with her. I will say this episode, the conversation between Katie and Ariana when they were talking about this kind of open relationship rumor that really more or less turned into that kind of awkwardness of, hey, listen, I'm not friends with Raquel because I've seen her say and do things that I just kind of deem are low character situations. And then Ariana giving that kind of classic, well, they haven't really done anything to me line that is so prevalent, I think, in friend groups
Yeah.
in general. And as someone, as myself, I am not the they haven't done anything to me type of person. I am I'm going to judge you for that kind of low character moment. I love to give people second chances. I think if people genuinely are willing to humble themselves to an apology and show that they really understand the mistakes they've made, no problem. But that person hasn't done anything to me, so I have no problem with what they're doing to you type of energy, which a lot of my good friends have exemplified. Only for me to be like, yeah, that's fine, but like, just wait.
Yeah, be careful.
And though just wait usually comes to fruition, I think this episode is like a feather in the cap to the Katie Maloney's and the Nick Vialls of the world who have always been frustrated by some of their friends saying things like, well, they haven't done anything to me.
Right.
And when this conversation is about Raquel and Katie, I mean, Ariana is just like standing by her side, calling her such a great friend. Loyal, sweet, genuine. And yet Ariana does have a litany of examples of why Raquel maybe shouldn't be trusted.
Yeah.
I mean, even on this birthday trip, you have Tom Schwartz making a joke, yet, the joke's coming from somewhere of, hey, watch out, she has a type. It's people in relationships. Even that's just so on the nose where it's just like...
There's some bone-chilling moments in this episode.
And yeah, if you're, we know that obviously Katie and Ariana are very tight right now. They have their sandwich shop. And this is not a critique of Ariana, but I'm curious. I'm curious of Ariana, who's always kind of been Switzerland in the group. She's always been the person who's been able to like maintain friendships and relationships with all these cast members, despite, as you've pointed out, so many of them throwing grenades at one another. And Ariana's always been kind of the, chill and like she would see it as I kind of see the good in everyone, and not everyone is good or evil. There's shades of gray, and she's always been willing to see the shades of gray. But yet sometimes you just have to say, like, I don't know. I think that person is a liability. I think they're kind of low character. I think they have demonstrated this types of behavior, and I don't know if I want them in my circle. And I just think it's a bit of a feather in Katie's cap to be, was it validated or
vindicated
when it comes to this type of willingness to take a stand, because she's really been kind of beaten up on by Tom Sandoval and Schwartz and a little bit of Ariana, of like the person who, like Tom was saying, I don't know if it was a preview for next week or is this week. Oh, Tom was yelling saying it was to Ariana, like, you have to love people for who they are. He used that line.
Which she seems to do.
Well, like Tom, it's a classic. It's like a classic line from someone like Tom Sandoval. Well, like when you're in a relationship, you have to like accept. You have to accept people who they are. You can't sit there, can't change people. We know that.
You can't date their potential.
Can't date their potential.
Ooh.
You certainly can encourage them to help them meet their potential, but you have to accept who they are. But that is different than someone kind of being a selfish piece of shit and only doing what they want to do when they want to do it, and then demanding their partner be okay with that when they're never willing to make their partner a priority, and there's always ways to kind of manipulate and interpret those kind of phrases to serve you the best. But I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. If I'm Katie, I'm feeling very vindicated this season.
Certainly.
Yeah. I did appreciate the way Ariana handled that, of like nipping it right in the bud, being like going straight to the source. They had a really productive conversation about it. And I wonder if for Ariana at that point, it's saying the whole, like, I know you're not friends with her, but I am, is kind of a means of tiptoeing around the fact where it's like, yeah, you have like very personal beef with her. Like, she hooked up with Schwartz. Obviously, you hate her.
Ariana said something really interesting. She said, listen, if I were in your shoes, I'd feel the same way. And I always, again, this is not a critique per se of Ariana. I've had so many people I love and cherish and value as friends say that type of stuff to me about other people where I'm like, listen, I'm just telling you, they're not a good person, you know? And they may not have done something to you, but there are all these examples of why I feel the way I do. And not only towards me, but towards other people. And then been like, well, yeah, but I haven't really done anything to me. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And when Ariana says, hey, listen, I'd feel the same way if I were you, I always found those comments when I had friends say like that stuff to me, I always found it frustrating where we're like, why do you think you're so special that you don't think this person can do the same thing to you? Because there is a level of, well, they wouldn't do that to me. Right? Energy?
Yeah,
Like,
I think so.
yeah.
And I, like, why? What?
Like Raquel owes me more than she owes you in terms of her
whatever
behavior.
the reason why they think that person who they've literally seen do this behavior, whatever that behavior is, to other people, and then say, well, they haven't done it to me. There's a level of blame that they are putting on the people they have done those things to by saying, well, they haven't done it to me, because they're implying there's a reason.
But also, you know, Ariana did start a relationship with Tom when Tom was with Kristen. So it's possible that she can just be like, well, I've done some shady shit and I'm a good person. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think what I'm most curious about, because, you know, Ariana hasn't really done any like big interviews. Obviously, there's a reunion coming up. We'll get her thoughts, but I'm assuming a lot of that will just be like in the moment, heated reactions.
Yeah.
I'd love to know how, if anything, has her perception on life and friendships, how has that changed? Like, how has she, if any at all, changed the way she values different types of friendships and relationships?
Like trust
various
people.
How does she trust people? What boundaries does she set? What information does she use seeing other people's behaviors with other people? How does she interpret that as it relates to her friendships now? I'm wondering if she has drastically changed the way she has viewed these things, and now being kind of watching this back and seeing these examples. I wonder if Ariana is watching it and feeling a little foolish to stand up for Raquel's character with Katie, only to find out that all this has happened. I'm really curious if that has changed how she, you know, sees friendships going forward.
And in the jacuzzi as well.
In the jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi.
My
as
other-
well.
The deleted scene?
No. I just love the Ken Todd line so much. I'm just trying to get him to do it again.
You want one more?
Just one more.
And in the jacuzzi as well.
Oh, amazing.
I also loved when Lisa is FaceTiming with someone and she's like, and Raquel shows up looking like a bag of shit.
Yeah.
It's like, Lisa, dear God.
Okay, there again. Okay, so why does she not just show up late looking like a bag of shit? Why does she have to be like, oh, I'm late because I stayed over at Sandoval's or whatever? That doesn't have anything to do with anything, right?
So, I'm sorry.
I mean, it does, but there's no point in saying it. In real life, there's no point in saying it.
Yeah, Lisa would no way in life would know that, like, she just happened to come
But
from
she
Tom's house.
says it. She says it like in this meeting, which you just would not do. That's not human behavior.
Well, there was that one, I don't know, was it TMZ or something where Tom Sandoval, where he kind of went off on the guy saying, hey, Raquel's actually in a mental health facility and I went to a resort. And then the guy was like, man, you guys are like celebrities now. And Tom Sandoval couldn't help but just smile from ear to ear.
Oh, boy.
And just hearing that, some guy, some TMZ reporter or Page Six, I don't know what it was, calling him and Raquel like celebrities, and he just lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And
That's
it does, like,
dark.
it's just.
The only thing that got the smile off of his face was when they brought up Ariana, and he was like, "Oh shit, okay."
Oh yeah, it's like, I just wish her the best.
I have not seen. This TMZ I have not seen.
Him like walking along the street. Yeah.
What if we found out that this was all a big setup to revive Vanderpump?
I mean, listen, that's where my head goes, is that like a few of the cast members were like, what can we do? Like ratings are dropping. What can we do? I mean, I don't know. That seems cynical, but
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's a very fine line between people who go on these shows, or Bachelor in Paradise or Vanderpump, of their willingness to bring their own messiness into it for the sake of. I know there's always like every time a Bachelor season comes on, there's just like, oh, this person's a plant because they seem to be so outrageous, and the question is, who would do something like this?
Yeah.
I think it's just a combination of, well, the scandal of it all is crazy because there's actual infidelity. But Bachelor World, when you break it down, a lot of it is just like timely editing and just people having sarcastic tone in their voice. Yeah. And then you throw on a soundtrack and it's 10 times worse than it actually is when you're watching it back. But I do, like with Vanderpump, I do think I was talking with Sheena and I was asking, like, does it get a little, do the lines blur, in terms of reality versus your life? And she acknowledged as much as like, sometimes it's hard to know the difference.
Right. It's, okay, you look in, like all Tom Sandoval seems to want is to be famous, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's why he started a band.
That's why he started a band. I certainly like Raquel.
That's why he wore a name tag at Coachella. Do you see that?
No.
He wore basically a onesie like outfit with his name embroidered into the shirt to Coachella.
That's rough. Raquel, obviously, there's that searching in the eyes, that like darkness, and like tell me where to be and what to do. That's all I want to be is famous. I just want to be a role model. I don't know who I am, but I want to be a role model. Tom said, okay, he's from St. Louis, and I'm dying to talk. I'm from St. Louis, so I'm dying to have that conversation with him. I want to know where he went to high school. The people who are watching and listening from St. Louis know exactly what I'm talking about. It is the one question everyone asks each other from St. Louis. I don't know why. But anyway, I do want to have that conversation. I feel like with him, there's a guy who moves here in his 20s to be famous. And like, then you figure out a path. You figure out what the next thing is going to be. And then Tom Sandoval had this. And now he's in his 40s. And I feel like he's like, no, I'm going to fucking be famous in a band. Like, I'm famous from the show, but I'm going to transcend. And like, this band is going to happen for me. And I also feel like sometime in the last couple of years, it's ayahuasca or something. Like there's been mushroom ceremonies.
There's a hallucinogen involved.
There's something, his mind has been blown in some way.
He was at Joshua Tree at an Airbnb.
Yes.
Calling Lisa Vanderpump dude all the time.
There's this painting on the eyes with the, when he's performing, which by the way, the MTV TV and Movie Awards were last night, and it was just a montage because, of course, they couldn't do a production.
No, I was going to present and didn't go.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
But they rebroadcast an NSYNC performance from 2000. Chris Kirkpatrick has the exact Tom Sandoval eye thing. But it's the shirts, it's the mustache. There's just something like he read a book or something, or, like his mind was blown in some way. And it's a very 2023 midlife crisis that we're watching play
personal rebrand.
And I saw recent reports that
it's something.
On his tour,
so many empty seats.
A lot of empty seats, half price tickets.
Okay.
Also, to answer your question, he is a graduate of Hazelwood West High School.
Okay. All right.
Does that add any context?
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Yeah. I know a lot more about him now. That I believe is north. Is that North St. Louis?
I will look it up.
I forget where Hazelwood is. Sorry, Hazelwood. But that places him. Okay.
Do we feel at what point it felt like? Is there any pity
for Tom?
Yeah, with his
Northwest
half price seats and empty empty venues. Even Amanda, our empathy queen, household empathy queen. She has a look of sadness on her face.
Mm-hmm. Pity. I don't know.
Do you have a little pity?
I just think it is to be this like negligently unself-aware is on you. And it makes me uncomfortable and sad that someone moves through the world that way. Mm-hmm. But I don't feel like he's a victim.
You don't think he's feeling it? Do you think he feels pity for himself, or it's just straight delusion?
I don't know.
Like every once in a while he just needs a paparazzi with a camera calling him a celebrity, and that's enough to recharge his batteries.
Yeah, that might be.
I just think there's a lot of insight, not as in he was going to do this specifically to Ariana, but the fact that he never breaks up with someone without having some like overlap transitionary period. Like he never wants to be without a girlfriend. Like he's clearly very scared of being alone and like lacks a level of like self-sufficiency and outsources like a ton of like validation and attention. And
I think he's hanging out this other Billy Lee.
Yeah.
girl while Raquel is
In treatment,
taking care
hopefully.
of her mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Billy Lee from the restaurant?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
From seasons
They're-
ago.
Okay.
I do think it was very significant when Lala came in to Viall Files it was like 2 or 3 weeks before Scandival broke. And we asked her which.
week.
Okay, a week before. Oh, yeah, because it was Ariana who was here like 2 or 3 weeks before.
It's nuts.
But we asked her, like, one of the questions we asked in kind of like a rapid fire round was like, who on the show is the most differently presented on the show than they are in real life? And she did say one of her answers was like, Tom and Ariana are very private. Like, you don't really know what's going on. Like, they're very secretive. And that's always like kind of stuck with me. And as Scandival like came out, I've been thinking about that a lot, about how like, okay, so maybe there was this air of like mystery, and like, granted, nothing that could ever excuse his behavior, but it seems like there was some emotional context to this.
Well, Lala is someone who's had her own messes, and she is a more kind of raw and authentic kind of personality. And I think someone like her, who's lived through her own messes, it's easier for her to see other messes.
Sure.
And it's easier for her to see people who act one way but try to present another. And yeah, it's not shocking to me that Lala, assuming this is less staged and less of a production and more of her just reading the tea leaves, it doesn't shock me that Lala started figuring things out, because I just think she's good at, she's been through it. I think she has a good bullshit reader. Especially
as a sober person. Like, I feel like she's been framing so much of Raquel's behavior very deliberately and intentionally worded as like, when you are drinking, XYZ is a factor at play, like making sure that like those two things are like linked for Raquel, which isn't to say that it's like an excuse.
She's giving her a little bit of grace.
Yeah.
Right?
I think at least trying to point her in a direction for like a little bit more self-discovery. Because it's like, what are you numbing? Like, we all have our coping mechanisms, whether it's like substances or like just a busy schedule. Like, there's many different things we can do to like numb out from.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you numbing out from? And if your numbing is becoming more and more costly and you're still doing it, like, something significant is brewing.
If your significant other gets that excited about some other, like when Tom gave that like speech and got all impassioned about Raquel, that's a red flag.
It's not great. Yeah, it's not. It's especially knowing what we know, but it was. Yeah, it seems
it's weird to begin with.
Seems, yeah,
your partner shouldn't have that much passion for your girlfriend or boyfriend, and by platonic friend.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're dating an Ariana, you shouldn't be having that much passion for her friend Raquel's success.
What about Tom and Tom going forward? That's the relationship that I am most.
We are hoping to get Schwartz on the show. He's doing this. It was just released. He's doing all this new kind of reality TV competition show from like old like personalities. There was one called The Goat that our friend Joe is doing.
Saw that
on Freebie.
Stars on Mars.
Yeah, Stars on Mars.
Stars on Mars.
Yeah. So because like Tom was just like, hey, I have to go to Australia. But maybe when I'm back, I was like, cool, man. So we're hoping to have Tom like after the reunion. But yeah, it's Stars on Mars. They're like going to be like living as if they're living on Mars. And Australia makes sense because it's pretty desolate, right? They're going to try to recreate an environment that is Mars and have some sort of competition show.
Who's it for? Who else is on it?
Lance Armstrong.
Oh, Lance Armstrong
is hosting.
Natasha
Stars
Leggero, Marshawn Lynch, Christopher Mintz-Plasse,
I think Tallulah
McLovin,
Rhonda Rousey.
Tallulah Willis, I think rumor sister Tallulah.
Interesting.
Ariel Winter.
Don't know who that is.
Modern Family.
Wow, who's it for?
Fox.
Wow.
So he's doing that.
All right.
But I think
diversify a little bit.
Isn't their restaurant doing okay?
I mean, Schwartz and Sandy's is usually pretty booked up.
Yeah, a friend of mine just went there.
I want to go.
And
when I went, it was like you can stand by the bar, no tables.
Okay, let's go.
Should we go?
A friend of mine went, and there's a long like cocktail list. There's like 3 menu items, and one of them is like salad, like salad. Leaves and ranch or whatever. But there's a whole bunch of cocktails, and my friend asked the server, what cocktail is your favorite? And he was like, get wine. So, yeah.
Oh
so
my!
I'm not a cocktail guy,
but I mean, if you put your mixology foot forward, you better.
But the vibe is
better come correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm absolutely down to go. I think that'd be hilarious.
You want me to get you guys a reservation?
Yes, please.
Great. When do you want to go?
No, I want to DM Tom.
It's open.
I want Tom Schwartz to be there.
It's open like Thursday to Saturday or something.
Yeah, like Wednesday to
6
Saturday.
to 9.
So that's how most bars are.
That's not true at all.
No?
No, that's not true at all. Most bars are
Well,
open.
is that more of a nightclub thing?
Maybe,
I think it's
but
like
it's-
a really nice restaurants won't be open on Mondays.
On
like
Mondays,
really
yeah.
Michelin
Sometimes.
star
I'm
places.
surprised that
yeah.
they don't like lean into the brunch crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The overlap.
Yeah.
So
You know, and
Wednesday through
especially now,
Saturday.
Pump is closing.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes. I'm
Mm.
devastated.
Now closing forever or just relocating? Because it was doing well.
Yeah.
And
it's
how could
usually
they, why
pretty
would they be
busy.
closing a restaurant while they're having such a kind of renaissance?
Yeah.
The last time I
it's-
was there, Ken walked in. He was
Oh,
just
wow.
like there evaluating the place.
Oh, wow. They apparently, to keep like the landlord wanted a 10-year lease and jack the rent up, and they were just like, no, it's not worth it.
I guess when
Um,
you're facing 10 years, that's a big
yeah.
decision.
I have never been there. I had a friend in from out of town, and we were like, well, let's look inside. And so we did the curtain to walk in, and there were like tables of people who went like, and were just so bummed out that we weren't famous. You know what I mean?
Sad.
Like it was they were excited to see a Ken Todd or somebody.
Yeah.
Had to settle for us, and we were like, this is not our vibe. Never went back. But yeah, rest in power, Pump Restaurant.
Mm. So on the episode, so there was the birthday trip. Sheena and Brock are also there.
Mhm.
James and Lala hang out. What do we think of the dynamic between James and Lala? And also James and Allie kind of debrief the birthday party showing where he's like, sorry for embarrassing you. And she's like, you embarrassed yourself.
Well,
Uh-huh.
yeah, that brings up an interesting discussion when James had a talk with Raquel about regrets. I thought actually James said some interesting things where he's like, honestly, when you get older, you can't, the whole like no regrets, right? Like we love to say things like no regrets is a way to make ourselves feel better. I think you can have regret. I think what James was saying, and I agree with, is that when you get older, you realize it's okay to say that you can have regrets and simultaneously learn from that experience. You don't have to be like, well, every experience is valuable and therefore I have no regrets because you learn from all the shitty things. And it's like, yeah, I mean, hopefully you are willing to learn and not just chalk everything up as like it's meant to be. But you can be like, you know what? I would have rather not done that.
Yeah.
That was really shitty.
Yeah.
And now that I have done that, I'm going to learn from it and hopefully have that not happen again. But like, of course we have regrets. Of course there's things. Why is it so wrong for James to be like, you know what? I would have rather not been engaged to you. I would have rather not have this, what now is what I consider to say a toxic relationship with someone who, and I don't know the details. I wasn't watching Vanderpump when
same.
James and Raquel were dating, but he's allowed to like wish that never happened.
Sure.
And I think that's okay. And he can still want to learn from it, as opposed to Raquel being in that kind of, again, while cheating with Tom on Ariana, she's all like, I don't regret any of my actions. Everything's a learning experience. Like such a liability for someone to go out there and be like, I just have no regrets because at the end of the day, I'm just trying things out and I'm just going to learn from my mistakes. And it's just like, fine, but like you might be fucking with other people's lives along the way.
Yeah. It's not a good role model. Sorry.
No, I agree with that concept. I just think in context, James was saying that to wound Raquel at his birthday party. Like he was trying to make her feel shitty and insignificant by being like, I wish I'd never proposed. It's a huge regret. So it's like, I agree with your point, like for a conversation in isolation. I feel like with the context of this being like a follow-up from James very publicly losing his cool and like being so clearly emotionally impacted.
I'm just talking about that particular conversation where he's just like, yeah, I don't like,
I loved when he complimented her bag and she was like, yeah, I still use it. And he had no idea that he was the one to have purchased that for her.
I didn't every James thing is static to me. I don't like his voice or face. So every time he says or does anything, I kind of
You check out?
dissociate. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of appreciated his take there. Also, he must be hating all this. Isn't he the reason Raquel's even on the show?
Mm-hmm.
Like if he had never dated her, that's how she got on the show. And now she is, for better or worse, she is a star on the show.
Yeah.
She
and
is-
the show is popular again. So.
Yeah, because of her. I mean,
Right.
she might be a supervillain, but nevertheless, she is bringing in the views. And if you're James, I can't imagine, and I don't sense he has a small ego or a ton of humility. That might be challenging for him.
Okay. There are how many episodes left, and how many have been?
TBD. It's
I think
unclear.
there's one this week, and I'm pretty sure the finale's next week.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And then because
And-
the finale starts on the 24th.
Okay.
The finale would be the 17th. So the one in 2 days on the 10th is like the last normal episode.
I see.
And then
okay.
finale
and
is
then,
next
then
week.
bonus, and then reunion.
and
episodes.
then I think 3 reunion episodes or something.
Mercy.
I think it's a 3-parter.
Lord.
Mhm.
Lord have mercy. Do you want to go glamping now, or do you not want to go glamping?
Definitely don't.
No.
Still do not want to go glamping.
Yeah, it just
Also,
feels
just like a lot of dirt
yeah, it's
there.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
if
a
I'm going
dirty
to glamp with like a
hotel.
mattress, why did they pick that desolate place?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a lot
There are better
of
places.
beautiful places in this state.
Mhm.
Why did they pick a
Dirt patch with
yeah
a bunch of
yeah,
that,
pigs.
like
Yeah, dirt patch with a bunch of pigs.
Mhm.
just look like
Brock
yeah.
was in his element. He was thriving.
Sure. Yeah.
They were all like struggling to throw a pumpkin, and
And
he
he
threw it
one-hand-
one-handed while his other hand is holding
like
his
he's fucking
cowboy hat on.
Gronk
Fantastic.
spiking a football after
Yeah.
a touchdown.
Bless him.
I bet Brock's just always happy.
Yeah.
He's a
okay.
funny dude.
Seems okay.
He just
Well, I like-
seems like he just, you know what? I'm just gonna be happy.
I'm back at the beginning now, and I'm there's Frank, which if you start
Sheena's
the show
OG?
from the beginning, no,
Who's Frank?
No, Shay was her OG.
Oh.
Frank was, I think his name is Frank, was the other bartender who
Oh.
worked with Jax,
Oh.
and so Jax and Stassi broke up. This really needs a Stassi right now to like come in and just sort of regulate, but whatever, maybe next season. Jax and Stassi are breaking up. She hooks up with Frank, the other bartender, who's very handsome. And then he immediately is like, Jax got a porn star pregnant in Vegas and all this. And it's just, things go off the rails immediately. And there's a fight in a parking lot in Las Vegas between Jax and this guy, Frank, and Tom Sandoval is there. And it's like, it gets physical and everyone has their shirt off and you don't know why.
Oh my
It's
God.
Like all three of them are suddenly don't have shirts on, and they're like, Jax and this Frank guy are punching at each other, and Tom is just sort of walking the perimeter without a shirt, and you can't tell why.
But yelling, "Keep me off!" You know.
I
yeah, just
don't-
like flexing
Yeah.
and posing. being
Yeah.
Like, no, guys.
Yeah.
Just walk away, walk away.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, no one's holding him back.
Exactly. It's great. It's for that reason alone, it's worth going back to season 1.
Oh, we're definitely going
Delicious.
back. Yeah.
I just want to see the scene where both Toms are in drag, but their wigs are off, and so they're just still wearing the makeup.
Oh wow.
And Tom is trying to deliver a very like powerful,
What a
in full
gift.
drag.
When was this?
I don't know. I just have seen the clip online,
Okay, well we'll get there.
and he's defending Schwartz, and then the
Okay.
door opens, and Schwartz too is in drag makeup.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, that is about does it, Dave. It's
Oh,
What? Oh.
real quick.
Oh.
Can I just tell you about something very exciting that's
Oh my-
happening this weekend?
Yes.
Please.
Yeah.
This Saturday is the Eurovision Song Contest. Are you guys into the Eurovision Song Contest?
I saw the movie with Will Ferrell.
Okay. Yes. They did that because Netflix had
Had a
acquired
documentary.
the rights to broadcast them in the States. Because you used to have to do like a VPN and it was messy. But now it's going to be on Peacock. Tuesday and Thursday are the semifinals. The grand final is on Saturday, noon Pacific time. There are like 40 something participating countries from around Europe
Where is it?
and the Middle
happening?
East and Australia. Pardon?
It's
Where is
in Liverpool.
It's in Liverpool. The winning country hosts it the next year. Last year, Ukraine won, so obviously they can't host it this year. The UK came in second, so they are hosting. It's in Liverpool. It's campy and weird and fun and like it is my favorite event of the year. It truly
And
is.
this is on Peacock.
It'll be on Peacock this Saturday at noon. We have a party for it every year. It's my Super Bowl. It's my Academy Awards.
I don't know what we're doing
It's
this weekend,
everything.
but if we're free,
Come on out.
Can
We'll be hosting at noon. It's everything. It's a tone that we can't. It's like a little bit making fun of itself, but also very sincere and
so like the movie.
like the movie, but real. That's the thing. We as Americans can only engage with that kind of tone through the medium of like Will Ferrell, like through the lens of Will Ferrell being outrageous. but it's totally sincere
Wow.
and crazy. It's
I'm
my favorite thing in the world.
I'm gonna
Everybody
check
watch
that
the
out.
Eurovision Song Contest.
If you're all available, check it out, and maybe I'm gonna try to watch this. Dave.
You should.
Yeah,
Sure.
ABBA, a very famous Eurovision winner.
Exactly.
Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
yeah,
Mhm.
Waterloo.
Yeah.
I did not know
Celine
that.
Dion got like very, very early in her career
Really?
represented Switzerland. Yeah. You don't have to be from the country where you're
What
Oh,
other
so you can,
famous
like,
people
mooch.
have whose origin story is Eurovision?
a couple well, it's not his origin story, but like a couple years ago, Flo Rida was in like Latvia's entry or something like that.
Whoa.
Who else famous came from there? Måneskin, the Italian band.
Not familiar.
It's been popular in the last couple of years. They won 2 or 3 years ago, and then like kind of nobody else. But it's very silly and very funny, and you get like emotionally involved. There are a couple bangers.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Dave, as always,
Oh my
it's
God.
always a pleasure.
Thank you so much
So
for
great
having
to see
me.
you.
Well,
Yeah.
pleasure. Good to see y'all.
If you end up watching Charity Season, please come back for a Bachelor recap.
I think that's gonna happen.
Okay.
Yay.
great. And obviously Paradise as well.
Sure, I'd love to.
Sure.
Just move in. Just stay.
Okay, great. I'm here. I've got the dog likes me.
Dave, where can we find you?
Oh boy, I'm on Instagram
Yeah.
at Dave Holmes, Twitter for the time being at Dave Holmes.
Blue check mark?
No,
Mm.
I'm not paying.
Well, we have a great episode for you on Thursday, Going Deeper. The one and only Chloe Veitch from Perfect Match is here to get into any updates that she has. All the juicy tea from that messy group will be a lot of fun to get into. Plus, we'll talk with her about a bunch of other relevant pop culture topics. I'm sure Natalie will be here, our pop culture correspondent, as well.
Yeah, we got to touch on the Taylor Swift dating rumors, potentially some Usher, Chris Brown drama, Leo and Gigi. We got a lot to cover.
Chris Brown should just be put in jail.
Yeah.
Why is he here?
Literally lock him up.
You should
Yeah.
put him in the Superman 2 thing, where they have the supervillains
Oh,
just
floating
like
around
floating through
Yeah.
space, being like, "Let me out." That's
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
yeah. He seems bad.
Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to send us your 5-star reviews. As always, we appreciate that. Tell your friends. Better Date Than Never, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, Viall Files Plus.
We're talking blowjobs this week because we have some very emphatic members of Fuck Club who have some hot tips and tricks.
Yeah.
So
Best,
a lot of value add.
Best practices for blowjobs.
Emphatic members of what?
Fuck Club.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a club that originated on Better Date Than Never. They have a group chat. It's called Fuck Club. They just basically share crib notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
A community.
it's a support group.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot
and
of fun.
hookup culture.
Anyone is welcome.
Well, it sounds that way.
Thanks for listening, guys. See you back on Thursday. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.